What is going on, my friends, and welcome back to another video on the channel. On today's video, we are going to be taking a look at Solana. Now, I know a lot of you have been asking me to look at this one. I've been out of town running from the hurricane, but now that we are back, I'm going to go ahead and, of course, give it a look to see what we can expect, see what we're seeing right now, and just go ahead and give you my expectations, anticipations, and more. So, of course, let's go ahead and let's get into it. So what we're seeing right now is a massive move to this 2.618 Fibonacci extension off of this big move that we saw in the past from our May 18th swing high down to our May 23rd swing low. This little movement, that was rather big movement, but this just short-term movement here created this long-term Fibonacci level and sequences in which we are still seeing an interaction with, which is absolutely amazing. So what we can see right now again is that we have been interacting with this 2.618 and finding some resistance here, which can be expected. Now we did execute on it. We executed that 2.618, but we are still unable to hold it, hold this level. We are still starting to see a little bit of resistance there. So let's talk about whether or not now is the time to be buying. Should you be buying right now when the price is in all-time high mode and is going into price discovery, or are there better options? And if so, what are those better options? So personally speaking, I do believe that if the price is able to recapture this 2.618, this level right here, and hold it as support without continuously falling back below it, I do think that an execution of the 3.618 will follow soon thereafter, which is at about $167. So I do still believe that there is potential for upward momentum, but I definitely do think that buying right now is very risky. Now, many of you do know that I say it all the time. Trying to buy a bus when the bus is going 45 miles per hour down the highway is probably a bad idea. You might get on the bus, you might get lucky, but there's the very big chance you're going to get hit by it, you're going to miss it, you're going to get sideswiped, or something like that that's going to just completely knock you out and you're going to lose a lot of teeth or a lot of money. Well, what I would rather see you do is wait for that bus to go to a bus stop. You might miss a few, miles or so. You might have to put in a little extra work, but at that bus stop, your risk is much more limited. And so how that translates to crypto, of course, weird little analogy there, is that buying these things when they're setting all-time highs is very risky. You might catch it and it might continue back upwards, but there's still a good chance that it's going to start to fall. It's going to start to retrace. We're going to see the price consolidating, and buying at an all-time high is inherently going to make you so emotional that any of these negative movements may freak you out a lot and knock some of your teeth out, of course, or, make you lose some money because you make emotional decisions. Whereas the better idea, in my opinion, is to find these support levels in which the price slows down at. Look for the structure to get established, buying on the breakout of that structure, and using that bus stop as the buying opportunity. And so the way in which we're going to look to identify this buying opportunity for Solana is we're going to look for just simply two things. There's two key things that I'm looking for at the moment that says, okay, we may be looking at a nice bus stop here. So the first thing I'm going to look for, or let's make it three, one long term, one short term, or in two short terms. So in the long term, again, a great buying opportunity is if we're going to be able to hold above the 2.618, work above 126 and get about 3 or 4 closes above it. If we're able to do that, that's a good sign, in my opinion, that the 3.618 is not very far away. So definitely be looking for that. If we can hold some support on top of the 2.618, that could be a fantastic sign that this thing is going to continue upwards. Now let's take a look at if we can't do that. Let's take a look at what the alternative is. Now the alternative is going to be the retracement that typically does follow an execution to a Fibonacci extension level. What will happen a lot of the times is we'll start to go, we'll reach a 2.618, and we'll start to see a bit of a pullback. Now the pullback can happen here, or it may push up a little bit and then happen up here. It's not this exact level, but it's more of this general region in which we're going to see that resistance get established. And so as this is starting to happen, look to see if we do see a bit of a pullback here. Now, one key indicator that is going to let us know if we're seeing a pullback or not is going to be our RSI. Notice the fact that we set a higher high here, boom, to a higher high. But on the RSI, we still have yet to do so. We're still a little bit low. We haven't set that higher high yet. So if we start to see the RSI pulling back and starting to turn over there, definitely do expect that to be followed by a falling of the price. Not a massive falling for sure, but definitely more of a falling, okay? And so be keeping an eye on this. Optimally, we don't want to see that happen. Optimally, we want to go up and break this, set just a minor, just at least a little bit of a higher high. If we're able to do that and set that higher high, it breaks any bearish divergence in which we will see if we set a lower high here and a higher high there. Because what this looks like to me is that even though the price is setting these higher highs, that the bulls are starting to get exhausted. They're starting to get a little tired, and setting these highs is becoming more difficult. Even though it looks real good, when you look at the pressure of everything and the RSI itself, it goes to show that that same pressure may not be the same, and it may be slowing down, which generally is followed by more of a cool down, unless we can break that bearish divergence and start to set a bit of a higher high there. But if we don't do that again, and we start to see a bit of a pullback, that could be our sign, okay, possible bust stop in the way. So keep an eye on this level. See if we can clear that RSI there. The second thing we're going to look for is this interaction with the 4-hour EMAs. That is going to follow soon thereafter a rollover of the RSI, like right after basically. So what I want to see is an interaction with this 20 or with this 50, one of the two. Be looking to see that if we are able to establish some support on one of those. If you see us do something like this, right? Say the price does this. We clear through the 20s, for example. We hit this 50, and then we recapture that 20 EMA. That could be a fantastic buying opportunity and a justifiable buying opportunity to say, maybe this is the bust stop. We're breaking some of this structure that was established, and we can work our way up. Now, when this does happen, I will be keeping you guys up to date, but it's more of just the psychology behind identifying what these things look like. Now, if we do start to see the price possibly rolling all the way through, then that might not be your bust out. That might be the bus going back to the bus station. And then at that point, we need to be looking for some low level supports. So what we want to look for is, even though there is a retracement, that we find some support. When we buy some support, that is our bust stop, not the price falling. Don't just buy on the price falling just because the price is falling, because you don't know where that price is falling to or where that bus is going back to. You just want to see that the bus hits the bus stop and that we start to see the price finding some support, slowing down before looking to see upward continuation. And that's when we're looking to buy. Okay. So again, what I'm looking for is to see if the price is going to retrace. It is going to be followed by a bit of a pullback on the 4-hour RSI. Optimally, we clear this before that happens, but a bit of a pullback on the RSI, and then an engagement with our 4-hour 20 and our 4-hour 50 EMAs. When this starts to happen, that is your buying opportunity. Or if we do work our way above this 2.618, we clear it, hold some support on the $126 mark, and work our way back up, then this is your buying opportunity as well. Okay, we're not just YOLOing money in. We're not just buying just to buy randomly, because when you're just looking at a price like this, you may not be able to identify whether or not there's still upward momentum, or whether we're about to hit our heads or whatnot. You got to look at this more from a more strategical and game plan mindset and say, this is when I will buy, not just absolutely YOLOing money into it. So those are the three things that I'm looking for from the price right now. Just again, a rollover in the 4-hour RSI, a retesting of 4-hour EMAs, or the clearing of the 2.618 and the establishment of support on top of $126, in which maybe we see 1 or 2 4-hour closes. Could be a definitely, that'd be a pretty good sign. I would say give it 3 4-hour closes. If we're able to see that, that could be a good sign that possibly up to $150 is still within the realm of possibility. But again, do anticipate that as we are setting these highs and the bus is moving this fast, it's going to slow down at some point, okay? And just make sure that you have the emotional durability to see clearly through this and be looking to set a more strategical game plan when you see the price rolling over. So with that being said, I will update you guys whenever we do see movement. I will update you guys very soon. If you do want more Solana videos, please let me know in the comment section. I kind of made this one because a lot of you are asking me to, but I can continue to make more updates just like I do with ADA and XRP if you guys would find that interesting. So of course, if you did enjoy today's video or found it valuable or entertaining, you can let me know by smashing that like button and subscribing to the channel if you are new, and I will see you all in the next video. Peace.